V4.
Now more than ever, Romania brings you a super realistic experience. More than 450 songs are included. The most ever in this entire series. Jam-packed top pop and rock hits from Japan and around the world.
Can I move now?
This is your chance to be a star.
Alright.
Romania V4. Double rock.
It's been a minute.
Do it now.
We'll get into all that shortly here. We'll wait for people to obviously show up before I start talking and going through the story time. But yeah, I was not going through a fun time recently.
Romania is a music
Also, this
game.
machine is causing my frame rate on this camera to get a little bit messed up.
One pedal to play.
So just hang with me here for a minute.
When the chips reach the bottom,
Alright.
drum pads.
Got some people trickling in.
Let's start with a high
Appreciate that. God, I wish the frame rate would go a little bit better, but I think it's the hertz on that monitor keeps messing with it.
snare drum.
But, wow, we got a lot of people showing up on Twitch right now. Holy shit. Okay, cool. Alright. So first things first, I want to show this off before I go into the story time, because this has been a huge passion project of mine, is this Drum Mania machine. As you can see, it's
Finally,
fully working. It started off as a Percussion Freaks machine, but I slowly restored it to its former glory, and this was a machine I got for free, and then I made it into what you see right now, which is kind of amazing. But yeah,
exciting
Sick.
empty equals game over.
let me give a few shots to people also real quick while we wait. We got Paul on the patio, which is my friend's dad. It's cool to hear from him. It's been years. It's gotta be at least like 15 years since the last time I talked to him. That's crazy. He's chilling in my chat though. I appreciate that. What? He says that at the end of every single video. I love it. Anyways, we also got Vincent Lee here. How am I doing? We'll get into that. Alex King says, "Oh my God, Mark, it's so nice to see that you came out okay." Oh my gosh, what is this name? Niamono. Love the poster. Let's see, Glitch Boys, you could have warned me about streaming tonight. It was just a random decision. Oh yeah, here's the title screen for that, by the way.
Romania V4. Double rock.
Oh, it's so sick. I love this game. But we'll turn that off in a minute and I'll go into the story time. Glitch Voids, yeah. Was a very last second decision essentially. I was just like, do I want to stream today or tomorrow? I decided to do today, so I can just kind of rest tomorrow after today too. So enjoy Ray Passes. I can't stay long, but show me the water bottles. I have water bottles. I also have, this is not soda, barley tea, because it's also very good for your kidneys. That shit hits diff. Also, let me come over and play Drum Mania soon, hopefully. So nice to see that you came out okay. Yes, thank you very much. Oh my gosh, what is that? It's so tiny, I can't see it. Hold on, maybe on the R screen I can see what it was. Oh, it's a gifted sub. Make sure you tell Vultures thank you. Let's see, Peking Gaming, hello, how are you? Is Drum Mania V4 online on eAmusement? No. Also, I'm gonna turn it off now. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, cool. I just want to show that off because, yeah, that was a huge passion project of mine. I actually wrapped it up while I was down for the count and I couldn't play Dance Dance Revolution. So that was kind of the thing I was working on and just trying to pass time, you know, because I couldn't really do anything else. So, but give me 2 seconds. I just want to make sure everything's Gucci here. Looks like we're all good. So, yes, anyways. So, I want to tell you guys my story because obviously I've been gone for a month. That was not intentional. Is the video still messed up? It looks like it still is. Give me 2 seconds to try to fix that. And then then we will we'll go into the full story time. Ah, that's why. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. That's a lot better. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's go through the story time. All right. So the last time I streamed was like almost exactly a month ago, right? So I was live streaming DDR, and I wrapped up. Everything was fine. Like I felt normal, and everything was good. You know, I wrapped things up. I cleaned up downstairs, you know, in the garage, and then I went upstairs and started like making myself like dinner. You know, very very late dinner, mind you. It's like probably like 11 o'clock at night or something when I finished live streaming. So I go upstairs and I'm just like, all right, well, like while my food is cooking, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom and I obviously take a piss, and my piss is very orange, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the hell's wrong? So like I Google it real quick, and it's just like, oh, like, you know, if it's this color tint of urine, you're probably just very dehydrated. Like, make sure you drink more water. And it's like, okay, like, I'm just gonna drink more water, and hopefully, it kind of clears out. So I drink more water, and I have dinner and everything. I feel fine. I'm starting to get ready to go to bed. Take a shower, go to the bathroom. Color of my urine's kind of back to normal. I'm just like, okay, I guess I was just really dehydrated. Notes have been taken. I'm going to drink more water when I'm playing DDR. So, I went to bed. The next morning, I wake up. I go to the bathroom. Super orange pee. Very, very bad. And then I looked it up. I was just like, does that mean there's blood in my urine? And it didn't really say that there's blood in my urine. It's just it just means that you're very, very dehydrated. It wasn't red. It was just super, super dark orange. It's just that's a scary thing. That this is a repeating thing that's kind of going on. So I'm just like, this entire week, I'm just gonna drink just a bunch of fucking water, and maybe this is gonna go away. So I go to work and I'm just drinking a lot of water, and my pee clears up. It's back to normal color of yellow. If I drink too much water, it's just pure clear. All good. And I was just like, okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm just super dehydrated right now. I don't get it. So, the next day, we roll into the next day, and I feel fine. Go to work. Everything's normal. Being normal, everything's Gucci. Cool. Wednesday, I wake up, take a shower, I go downstairs, and all of a sudden my back is just absolutely murdering me. Right here on my back is where the pain is. So lower back, flank pain, and I'm just like, oh my god, I wonder if I have a UTI or something, because I've had that happen before. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking painful. This feels literally like when I had a UTI. So I just start chugging a bunch of water to help it go away. And then I decided to stay home and lay down for a little bit instead of going to the office. Thankfully, I had meetings in the morning. So I laid down for an hour and a half, woke up, did my meetings, felt fine. Then I decided to go to work. And everything at work was fine until I walked into the door. And then I get to my office, and then I have the worst pain I probably have ever felt in the world. It's so sharp in my back, and it literally hit me out of nowhere. I walk into the room in my office, and then I was like, oh my god, what the hell is that? And I start leaning over on my desk like this, oh fuck, I don't know what to do. Should I drive myself to the hospital? Should I just try to ride this out? Should I call an ambulance? I don't know what to do. It was really bad. And ultimately, I kind of powered through it, You know, it lasted for probably like 10, 15 minutes. It's slowly started to decrease the more I drink water and stuff like that. And it just went away. And then I'm Googling on my computer. I'm just like, what does this mean? You know, and then came up, it's like kidney stones. Like, you probably have a kidney stone. You know, that's exactly what it feels like. It's going to feel like death when it's moving and stuff like that. You know, it's going to suck. And I was just like, well, that sucks, but, you know, there's not really much I can do. If I'm going to pass a kidney stone, I'm going to pass a kidney stone. So I just kind of just drinking a lot of water, like, trying to wait it out, and hopefully, you know, things get better. The next day, this is Thursday that week, I go into work. I have interviews all day with my boss. So we're sitting down, we're interviewing people. And I feel normal probably until like lunchtime. Stupid me, we went to Wendy's and I got a Diet Coke. Just out of habit, you know, I didn't even think about it until like I brought it back to the office like, oh, you know, I probably shouldn't have gotten a Diet Coke because I've been having these issues. And it's like, well, regardless, like I have it now, you know, I'm just going to drink this Diet Coke and, you know, I'm just going to chase it with like a bunch of water. And, you know, probably like at the end of the day, my back starts aching. It's not hurting, it's just, it's a dull ache. I'm just like, okay, this is just getting very uncomfortable. And, you know, it hasn't gone away. It's been going on for almost a week now. I probably need to go urgent care. So I book an appointment in the early afternoon the next day to like do telehealth, just to get a second opinion before like I go on my way to go to an urgent care and potentially have to leave work early and stuff like that. But I call in, I talk to the nurse on the phone, the doctor, and she's like, that does sound like kidney stones. I would come in, you know, and then we can do like some testing. We can test your urine and make sure, you know, we can see if it's a UTI and stuff like that. Maybe it's not a kidney stone, but based on the symptoms you're telling me, it's probably a kidney stone. And I was just like, cool, that sucks, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I went into the urgent care. I drove myself out to Naperville, and they tested my urine and stuff like that. And then they're just like, you do not have a UTI. There is blood in your urine, and based on your symptoms and everything you're telling us, it's almost certainly a kidney stone, like 99% chance. That is exactly what you're going through right now. And then they told me, if you haven't felt it moving in a while, you should probably go get a CT scan, because maybe it's too big to pass, and then that could be bad because it can cause blockage in your kidney, and then that can lead to like kidney failure if you never get treated and stuff like that. So on Monday the next week, I get myself a scan over at a clinic, and they send it over to my doctor. So on Tuesday that next week, my doctor calls me and says, hey, you do have a kidney stone, and it is stuck in your UPJ, which is like upper pelvic something. You need to probably go see a urologist, because you might be able to pass it and everything's going to be fine, or this is bad and you're going to need to go get surgery. And I was just like, shit, it really fucking sucks, but I don't really have a choice. So I make an appointment for the next day at a urologist clinic, and I drive myself there. I go to work, and then like halfway through the day I leave, I go to the clinic, and then I meet the urologist. I tell him my symptoms, I give him the CT scan, and based on like what the doctor told him, you know, before I went there, it's just like, personally, she's saying that it's 3 millimeters, the kidney stone you have. That's like an 80% chance you're going to pass it. No problem. You just start having symptoms. Like, if it's stuck in your UPJ, you might want to wait a few weeks. And then, you know, if we're having issues, you haven't passed it, then we can kind of go and figure out if you need to get surgery. But that was before he saw my CT scans. And then keep in mind that this doctor I went to is just an urgent care doctor. You know, so she's just kind of going off of what she can see in the CT scan. She's not a professional, you know, kidney stone person like a urologist is. So What ends up happening is I leave the urologist. He gives me a bunch of pain medication. So I drive myself to Costco. I go ahead, I get a bunch of just bottled water, and then I go get my prescriptions that he prescribed me. And after I'm checking out, he calls me, and he's like, hey, really bad news. I'm looking at your CT scan. That is not 3 millimeters. That is probably closer to 7 millimeters, probably 8. And you are not going to probably pass that stone. And if you do, it will probably be the most excruciating pain you'll ever be in your entire life. So you should probably go get surgery. And I was just like, oh my God. And I like had a heart attack like right in the middle of Costco. And I went in my car and I cried because I was so scared. You know, they was telling me what the procedure was and stuff like that, which I'll get to in a second. And I obviously didn't want to face that fact because I've never had to get surgery in my life. This would be my first surgery I've ever had to get. You know, I'm relatively a healthy person. Obviously, I'm playing Dance Dance Revolution a lot. I do drink a lot of soda, but you know, you might not think so, but outside of like me streaming and stuff like that, I do drink a lot of water. You know, we go to Costco, we get like the 40 packs of water, and like a 40 pack, you know, that doesn't even last us a week because like my girlfriend and I drink it all. So yeah, it was not a fun time when I left that Costco. My mom's calling me, she's asking what's going on, and like it's like I'm gonna have to call you when I get home because like I'm gonna cry. And I go home, I see my girlfriend, I cry. Cry some more. So basically what the doctor told me is I would need to get a procedure called laser lithotripsy. And basically what they do is they take a scope and they go up your urinary tract, which means, yeah, that scope is going right through my penis, you know, through my urinary tract, up through my ureter to my kidney, and then they blast the kidney stone with lasers and disintegrate it as much as they can, and they take out as much debris as they can with the scope, pull it all out, and then, you know, you're basically, you know, pissing sand and blood for the next few days and stuff like that. And that was the procedure I had to get done, unfortunately. So I scheduled the surgery as fast as I could, which was about a week later. And I told my boss, I'm like, I'm going to be gone for like 4 days. Like, Thursday's my surgery. Friday, there's absolutely zero chance in hell I'm going to be able to go to work. I'm going to be high as shit on like all these narcotic drugs and shit like that to keep me calm. Not narcotic drugs, opioids. So I'm going to have a bunch of opioids in my system. I'm not going to be able to drive anywhere. I'm not going to be able to go to work. I'm going to have to just work from home. But, you know, I don't mind, you know, as long as like I can sit in my bed and relax and stuff like that, you know. Oh, and the other thing too, forgot to mention this. After they do all that, they have to leave a stent in your urinary tract, in your ureter, to help pass all the sand, the debris, and all that stuff through your system. So even after the surgery, you have to either pull out the stent yourself, which means that you have a string coming out of your penis, and then you pull it out after a few days, or you have to go back to the office and then they put a scope back up for you and then pull it out that way. So, yeah. I knew all this information, and like an idiot, I was looking up online what people were saying about the procedure and stuff like that, and how they feel afterwards, and all that stuff, and it was just not a fun reading experience. Let me tell you, a lot of people were telling me it is very, very awful afterwards. And some people are like, it really wasn't that bad. A lot of women kept saying like, oh, it's just like having a really bad period. You'll definitely not be able to go to work, and you know, it's gonna suck. So just be prepared for that. So, you know, for a whole week I'm sitting at home and I'm like wanting to cry like every time I think about it, because like I've never had to get surgery, I've never had to be put to sleep, you know, to get anything done. And the worst part was I was supposed to get my wisdom teeth removed that week, and then when they called and told me like, yeah, like you have to stop taking ibuprofen, you can't take this, you can't take that. And I was just like, I'm supposed to get my wisdom teeth removed on Friday. I take it, I can't go do that anymore. And they're like, nope, can't do that either. So I was like, fuck. So I had to cancel my appointment to get my wisdom teeth removed, which sucks because, like, during that week too, I bit down and a chunk of my molar that my wisdom tooth is damaged broke off. So now half my half my molar is missing. Which fucking sucks, by the way. So yeah, I was just being beaten the fucking shit out, emotionally, you know, health-wise, and then like just with my fucking teeth too. Like it's just incredible. Like what is going on? Like the worst month of my life was like August to September of this year. So yeah. Anyways, obviously a week goes by. Day of the surgery, you know, I'm following directions so fucking critically. Like, stop eating and drinking at 10 p.m. Wake up 4 hours before the surgery. Drink 12 ounces of Gatorade. Take 2 Tylenol. And then I laid down, went to bed for like an hour or two, woke up, and then my mom picked me up, and we went to the surgery center. Not hospital, surgery center. And the entire time I was freaking out. I was pretty calm when I got there, but when I had to take off all my clothes and lay down in the bed, I probably looked like I was having a seizure because I was very jittery and shaky and very scared, you know, because I've never had surgery, never been put to sleep. Very, very scary time. I will say that surgery center really put me at a lot of ease though, because they're like, your urologist has been doing this for 40 years. Your nurse that's taking care of you has been doing this for 40 years. And your anesthesiologist has been doing this for over 30 years. So you have like the all-star team working on you. Like you couldn't have been in any better hands, essentially. And I was just like, okay, well, that puts me at ease knowing that I have so many people working on me that have done this for basically my entire lifetime, essentially. So I was put at ease. They obviously wheeled me away to the surgery room, and the anesthesiologist knew I was very nervous, you know, when he was telling me what the procedure was going to be, because they have to disclose what it's like. So they're just like, yeah, you might wake up with like a sore throat a little bit because we put like a mask over you, and like there's a little straw that kind of goes down your throat. So, you know, it might be a little bit difficult to like swallow food and stuff afterwards. Like, this is what it's all going to be. And like, I'm freaking out, you know, it's just like, oh my God, like I'm going to be choking on a fucking gadget going down my throat on top of like all this shit going on the bottom of me. And they're just like, yeah, you'll be fine though. People get this done all the time. Not a big deal. And it's like, well, it's a big deal to me. I'm so scared. So they wheel me into the surgery room, and I see the light overhead, you know, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm so scared. And they put me on an IV for a while, you know, with like just a general medicine or whatever. And like right before they put you under, they obviously change it out to like the anesthesia stuff and things like that. So they told me like when I got in there, they like raised up the table that I was laying on, the bed I was on. They're just like, all right, like move over to the table, and they're just like, it's gonna feel like a thrill ride in a minute. And I was just like, haha, like gosh, I hope so. You know, I was trying to be funny, and they're just like, yeah, have you ever been on like ET at Universal? And I was like, yeah, ET. Boom, gone. Just, I don't even, it was such a surreal experience because I passed out before, and I thought that being on anesthesia was going to be kind of like that. But it wasn't. It was like, literally I was just talking and everything felt normal, and then I was just, all of a sudden I woke up and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? And literally my first words out of my mouth waking up was, what the fuck? And the nurse in the waiting room turns around, she's like, oh, you're awake. And it's like, is it over? And she's just like, yep, you're all good. Everything went well. You're gonna be all set. And I was just like, oh, thank God. I'm so thankful. And she's like, how you feel? And it's like, honestly, I just feel really groggy. She's like, do you feel nauseous at all? I'm like, nope. And it turns out drinking that Gatorade and taking the Tylenol before getting that surgery done helps you with the being nauseous afterwards. It actually gets rid of it. So that trick worked wonders. I was not nauseous or feeling sick at all. And I was in like very minimal pain. You know, I didn't actually feel like really anything until basically I got home. They gave me pain medication and some cookies, and they're just like, what do you want to drink? We can give you a Gatorade, we can give you a Sprite, like, and then apple juice. And it's like, give me a Sprite. So I'm going to show you guys a picture of me at the surgery center now. So this is this is me after being woken up, and they gave me some cookies and some Sprite. Yeah, it was not a fun time, but like looking back at this image here, you know, I just I'm thankful for modern medicine because, you know, this could have gone very, very poorly for me, you know, if we couldn't get that kidney stone out of me and it got stuck and lodged and stuff like that. Because the fact is that kidney stone was blocking my urinary tract. And again, if I didn't get that, you know, figured out and taken care of, could have led to kidney failure, and I would have had to lose a kidney. So thankfully I still have my kidney. And that's one way to look at it. So yeah, anyways, I go home. Still not over yet. Still got a little bit more of this story. This is a long story, so I appreciate you guys chilling with me and kind of listen to my story here. So I go home, my mom's just like, all right, I'm going to go to Costco, go get your antibiotics and all the medicine that you're prescribed. And she's like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you some McDonald's. We're going to make some McDonald's to, you know, make you feel a little bit better about going through the surgery. So I got some chicken nuggies. Yay. But yeah, oh my God. Eating that food was so hard because the worst part up until that point was eating food because my throat was so sore after that. Every time like I ate something, I had to drink something with it because it was a tough time. But yeah, so you know, I'm sitting at home, everything's fine. I was just like, all right, before I go, like, go to the bathroom. I want to make sure you can go to the bathroom okay before I leave because, you know, that's the worst part about this surgery essentially is like going to the bathroom afterwards. So I finally work up the courage. I drink a bunch of water, you know, and I'm just like, I have to try. You know, it's gonna suck, and there's just nothing I can do about it. You know, the sooner I get all this shit out of my urinary tract and my kidney, the sooner I go back to normal. So, go to the bathroom, and let me tell you, that was a 9 out of 10 on the pain scale the first time going to the bathroom. I cannot even describe to you how horrible that felt. It was like, not really like through my urinary tract, it was just like at the very tip of my penar was, it fucking hurt like a motherfucker. I can't even lie. Yeah, pissing out all that sediment and blood fucking sucked. Thankfully, they gave me a shit ton of opioids and medicine that helps with like widen your urinary tract and relax it, so it helps like urine flow out better. I took a bunch of that shit, and it did dilute the pain a lot, but the first 2 days was just, whew. it started at 9. The next piss was an 8. The next was a 7. Like it trickled down. And then after like basically 24, I'd say 36 hours, back to normal. Like I could go pee. It was a little tingly and feeling weird, but for the most part, it's being back to normal, and I was very thankful for that. So, yeah. So obviously, the next week I went back to work. I had to be very careful not to pick things up, so I had an assistant come out and help me from our Ohio warehouse and stuff like that. And then I scheduled my stent removal for 2 weeks out. That's what the doctor said. He wanted to wait a couple weeks because of this reason, which I didn't bring this up yet. So when they went in with the scope through my urinary tract, it was very tight. And getting into my kidney, they had to actually like take everything out and put like a balloon up there and widen my the hole that like goes in my urinary tract to be able to get into my kidney, because it was so tight. They're just like, your whole urinary tract is so tight that like we didn't even put like the stent string to remove the stent yourself, because there's probably no way in hell you're gonna be able to do it. Like you're gonna need us to go in there with the scope and take it out, because everything in there is just it's way tighter than a normal person's. It's very strange. And I was just like, fuck. So, 2 weeks is a long time to think about getting that stent removed, and the fact that your urinary tract is tight as shit, and that's not a fun time. And obviously the doctor saw how panicky and scared and stuff I was when I went to get the surgery done, so he gave me a bunch of Xanax. It was just like, you're gonna take both of these Xanax before you come in. Somebody's gonna have to drive you, and it's it's not gonna be a fun time, but Xanax will help. And I was just like, okay. So I just kept my mind on the whole thing. I read online. I was trying to look at positive things about it though, where people are just like, yeah, it sucked for about 3 seconds, and then after that, it was fine. Just kept trying to think about that. It's just like, it's gonna suck for 3 seconds, and that's gotta be fine. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. So, finally the day comes. I go to my room. I take the shit ton of Xanax. My uncle picks me up, drives me to the health center where the urologist is, and I forgot my wallet. Which that was like, should we go back home and go get it, or do you think we'll be okay? And we decided to just move on through. They have all my information on file, but that almost made me miss my appointment. So thankfully they had all the information. We get there, but when I sit down, I realize I am high as fuck. It was so weird taking that much Xanax. I don't know how to describe how I felt, but I felt like everything in the world was just gonna be okay. And I was just chilling. So finally they call me and say, all right, Mr. Mark, come on back. They put me in the room. I can see the equipment to my left. I see what they're gonna put in me. I forgot I took a picture of it too, because I want to show like my friends what ended up getting put inside of my penar. But yeah, so I lay down. Longest wait ever. I was probably waiting there for 20-30 minutes. Finally, the doctor comes in, the nurse comes in, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna get ready. So they're like, go ahead, get undressed. We're gonna put this all these padding and stuff like are all around you and stuff like that. And then they put a numbing gel in my penar to start with, and holy shit, that fucking hurt. That was so bad. And I'm just like, well, if that's the worst part, then, you know, I'll take it. And then the urologist comes in, you know, he talks to me a little bit before, you know, and while the nurse is getting everything ready. And I'm talking to him, and it's like, so I read online, like, this is not going to hurt that much, right? And he's just like, oh no, this is going to hurt like hell, buddy. And he's like, but it's going to be very quick. It's just like, just relax and take deep breaths. That's all you need to do. And I actually appreciate the honesty, because I was better prepared for the amount of pain that I was about to endure. And he obviously, how fast this went was actually kind of fucking insane. He almost didn't even tell me he was basically going into me. He's just like, all right, we're going. And I like zoom like right in there. And like, I was just like, oh my fucking God. And like, I'll never, 10 out of 10 pain. That's all I can say. When he first put that thing in me, and then I could feel it moving up me, and I was just like, oh my fucking God. And he was having a hard time getting the stent out because my tract is very tight, like you said before. So he kept like grabbing it and trying to pull, and like it went grab it. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm very, very close to getting it. You hold on for a little bit longer. Like, this whole procedure, honestly, is like 30 seconds that we're going through this. But it's the longest 30 seconds of my fucking life. Finally, he gets the stent, and he pulls it out. And honestly, it coming out was not that bad. It was just the going up. It's a one-way street, buddy. You're not supposed to go that way. That was the worst part. He pulls it out. And he's like, all right, you're done. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And now I know what fucking giving birth feels like. And he pulls out the stent, and he's just like, do you want to keep this as a souvenir? And it was like this long, the stent. Like, it was a big, long, like, silver tube thing. And like, I almost passed out after I saw that. I was just like, no, I don't want to even be in the same room as that thing ever again. And it's like, cool. All right. Yeah, well, we're done here. So, yeah, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and get dressed. Just wipe yourself off. We sprayed water a little bit everywhere. And you're going to probably need to go to the bathroom before you go. So just go to the bathroom, and you'll be good to go. So, yeah, I cleaned myself up. And I went to the bathroom. I was preparing for the worst because there's just water in my urinary tract, so I'm just like, I have to pee super fucking bad. I go to the bathroom, no pain, surprisingly. Just felt pretty normal. But they also gave me pain medication before I left. There's a little bit of achiness later on in the day, and it was manageable though. It didn't hurt nearly as bad as like pissing out the sediment and blood and stuff like that. So yeah. So I go home and kind of just return back to normal. I took the next day off just because I was having some flank pain, which is kind of normal. They said like that might happen. Just continue taking some of the medicine that you have left over, and you'll be good to go. So I just relaxed, and yeah, I'm basically good to go. And the doctor did tell me, he was saying, you can go back to normal life this weekend. You know, I told him I played Dances Revolution. He's just like, by all means, go ahead. He can start playing tonight if you wanted to. Would I recommend it? Probably not. I'd probably just want to relax, but you do you. So, yeah, that was my story time of me having a kidney stone. And unfortunately, I'm not out of the woods quite yet. Because of the concern with my urinary tract being very tight, and my kidney, you know, the hole in my kidney being very, very small, they're concerned that I'm not able to pass urine potentially properly. So, in a month or two, I have to go to a radiologist appointment, and then they have to do a scan on my system and basically watch me pee through my kidney. They basically put like a special thing in my system. It lights up the urine, and then they can see how well the urine is flowing out of my body. So, but considering that I haven't really had any issues really outside of that, I'm very hopeful that there's nothing wrong. But just to be on the safe side, you know, the doctor was also just like, I think you're okay, but if it was me, I would like the sense of security in knowing that, you know, I don't have an issue that could potentially make me lose my kidney someday. So you should probably go get that scan done. I agree. So I'm going to go get that scan done. It's, I actually don't have to get it done until November. It's like at the, when is it? I can't remember. The start of November? No. I can't remember. I have it saved somewhere, but yeah, basically in November, I have to go get that done. And then on October 31st, I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed by an oral surgeon. So, which is a good thing because I also found out the nerve, my wisdom tooth is sitting on my nerve. And there was going to be basically no way that dentist was going to be able to probably get that out without causing additional damage. So, we're going to get that, my wisdom teeth removed on Halloween. And then I have to go back to the radiologist, go piss for them, which will take about an hour, and hopefully everything comes back and I'm in good health after that. But yeah, this has been very chaotic these past few weeks, and I did get the bill, and it was very expensive. At the end of the day, it's costing close to $4,000 with insurance. If I did not have insurance, it would probably be closer to $15,000 or $16,000 for all that to be done, and that makes me want to throw up. It's like I literally could have bought an arcade machine with that fucking money. But yeah, that was also like in the back of my mind, just like maybe I should do like a donation stream to help fundraise and pay off the surgeries and stuff like that. I don't know how people would feel about that on my Twitch and YouTube channels, so I'm just kind of like throwing it up in the air. How do people feel about that? And if not, people are just like, no, that's dumb. You fucking did this to yourself, you bitch, or something like that, then so be it. I'll find a different way to pay for it. I'm working on selling a bunch of like arcade parts that I've had in storage for years and years now. So this is a good kick in the pants to take care of a lot of that stuff, free up a lot of clutter. But yeah, it fucking sucked. But you can't put a price on being healthy because, again, kidney failure, potentially death. Scary stuff. So I'm thankful that it's over with. I wish it didn't cost that much, but hey, could have been a lot worse, but it's the American healthcare system for you. It is what it is. It sucks, but yeah, not a fun time. All right, well, that was the full story. Hopefully you guys stuck around and enjoyed that. I know that was a really long story time. That was like 40 minutes of me explaining everything. But that also explains why I've been gone for basically a month at this point. And I had to get a lot of that stuff taken care of. But I'm feeling much better now. And I am super thankful to be able to go back to having, you know, my normal day-to-day life. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are not in the same position as me, and I feel so bad for those fucking people. You know, especially people like my uncle who's battling cancer right now. You know, he has to go through this every week. You know, that person is so fucking strong. You know, but you know, I've never had to go through something like this myself ever, and it was a scary experience, but one that I can look back hopefully a little bit fondly on and say, you know, it sucked, but at the end of the day, it made me healthy, and you know, I'm here now doing my day-to-day stuff because I got that done. So just gotta keep your chin up. That's kind of what I'm basically getting at here, I think. Life will suck sometimes, but just gotta power through it, and hopefully things turn out better on the other side. So, but yeah, thanks for listening to my story time. I'm sorry if I made you guys cringe a lot during, you know, a lot of the details of what this entailed and stuff like that, but I think that, you know, it's important information to have out there. Oh, another thing too, they were able to study the kidney stone and kind of tell me a little bit of why that stone potentially formed. They said mostly dehydration and sodium are basically the two main components of my stone that I had in my system. But I think that there's also sort of a conclusion that because my ureter wasn't large enough to pass that kidney stone, it potentially was just growing in size, and you know, I could have been taken care of a long time ago in the right circumstances and stuff like that. So, you know, there's a lot of mystery and unknowns still in the background that I'll probably never fully understand or know is possible on stuff. But yeah, that was, you know, if anything, a wake-up call. And going forward, you know, I'm going to limit the amount of soda I drink every single day. And I'm going to be drinking a lot more barley tea. Delicious. Excellent for kidney health, by the way. And obviously, water. A lot of this stuff. And yeah, I actually haven't had any soda besides that Sprite after surgery in a month now. I've been like soda free, and I'm surviving. Do I want to drink soda again? Absolutely. And will I? Sure. But casually, in moderation, just like alcohol. It's okay to have an alcoholic beverage every once in a while, but don't go crazy with it, or you'll end up like my dad. And you know, he basically got himself killed over his alcoholism. So, you know, good role model for that. An unfortunate role model, but somebody that I can look at and being like, that is not how I want to end up in life. And it sucks to say that about my dad, but at the same time, you know, seeing what alcohol has done to him and how bad it fucked up his life really put into perspective how I need to live my life. So, but there you go. That's everything this time. We're done. We wrap things up. We can move on. We can start playing DDR in a minute. But, yeah. Let me kind of read through some of the comments here. Yeah, sorry I had to put you guys through that probably horror story. But, again, I also think it's probably good to just kind of get the information out there. And, you know, if I can be brave for somebody else's sake that might have to go through the same thing at some point in the future, you know, I survived it. You know, and I told my mom this, is like, I would quicker break my arm than have to go through them removing that stent down my body. You know, but at the same time, if I had to go through it again, and like I knew like every year I had to do that to stay healthy, I would understand and I would do it. You know, just gotta be brave and, you know, understand that lots of people go through this problem, and everybody turns out fine at the end of the day. Everybody's back to normal. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. So, if there's anything I've taken away from this whole experience is watch what I'm drinking, chill on the soda, watch my sodium intake a little bit more, and yeah, just try to be a little bit more healthy. There you go. Anyways, let's see what everybody's saying in the comments here. Said GameFan6219 says, "Thank God." LP Crossheart, my mom stuck around. She had something like that too. Yeah, again, it's a very common procedure, honestly. I was just put in a little bit more of an unfortunate situation where I couldn't remove the stent myself. So, yeah, that sucked. But again, it was fine at the end of the day. I lived. You know, hopefully I don't have to go through it again, but if I do, I know what to expect this time or next time, and I'll be fine. I'm glad, dude. God bless you. We just lost a neighbor officer in the line of fire from a criminal who had a warrant. Oh, that's terrible to hear. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, we weirdly, the same day that I was told that I had to go get the surgery, the SWAT team raided my neighbor across the street from me. We don't know why. There's no news on what that person did. But yeah, I drove home and there was people walking around in army outfits with assault rifles in my neighborhood. And there was a bunch of FBI and police officers going through that guy's house. And they ripped apart his car in his garage. And they were digging through his trash. Crazy shit. Still don't know what happened. But yeah, that was a crazy thing to witness. And quite frankly, I don't know if I want to know what was going on over there. Because that was my neighbor across the street. Which is very scary. Did this whole thing start when you were back in Japan? No. A lot of this started... it was really quick how fast it kind of kicked off. So, like, literally the last time I streamed, which is, like, basically a month ago, just one day, it just... flank pain, peeing really bright orange, or really dark orange, you know. But outside of that, I never really had, like, flank pain or anything outside of that. I felt like a normal person. I still feel like a normal person now. How I feel now is how I felt before all this started happening. And then it just all kind of fell apart within like a week. So, yeah, this kind of shows you, you know, things can literally happen like that. But I'm thankful it happened here instead of in Japan or something like that. Although, and probably if it happened in Japan, it would probably be a lot cheaper. Should have just gone to Japan and got the procedure done, honestly. But, yeah, it's probably better to get done here where I can understand English. So, let's see. Yeah, getting off of soda is the best thing, never looked back. Yeah, again, I'm definitely going to drink less of it. But I probably won't give it up entirely. I don't drink alcohol, or anything like that. So, if that's probably the most unhealthy thing I do, then I think I can make a small exception, you know, here and there. I also drink almost exclusively diet soda, and apparently, if you drink a single diet soda every single day, it doesn't affect your kidney health at all, according to what I read online. So, who knows? I was obviously drinking way more than one diet soda a day, so drinking a bunch of carbonated soda throughout the course of a day definitely did not help. So, definitely noted on that, and I'm going to be much more careful in the future. You know, I'm probably going to limit myself to one soda a day, and maybe in the future I'll just get rid of it entirely. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. I hate drinking soda because the fizz hurts my tongue. That's fair. I also drink, like, Ghost Energy and stuff like that, and that's not carbonated. At least I don't remember it being carbonated. It's kind of flat. There's, like, Monster Energy drinks that are also not carbonated either, like the lemonade ones, and those are really good. I wonder how bad those ones are for you. I can't imagine they're that bad, because apparently it's the carbonation that really fucks up your kidneys. If I'm remembering correctly. But I'll figure that out once I decide to start returning to soda, which I think I'm going to wait until next month before I start putting soda back into any rotation in my daily life. Can you play Clarity by Zed? Potentially. We're getting there. Random question, but would you look really good in a Bomani Pro League shirt? I'm sure I would. The problem is they don't make them my size. The shirt size I wear in American size is XL and large, just depending on what brand it is. I prefer really baggy clothing, like this shirt actually. is really baggy. It's a Japanese shirt, actually. Let me show you guys this. It's pretty sick. This is a Hatsune Miku shirt made by AC/DC Rag. I don't know, I thought it was a pretty sick t-shirt. But, yeah, I like really baggy long shirts like this is like a shirt that I like to wear day to day. So I like super baggy clothes. So if I ever wanted to get a Bomani Pro League shirt, it would have to be like either American size or super baggy. And God, excuse me. As far as I'm aware, they only sell Bomani Pro League shirts in size L, which is an American size medium. So that shirt would never fit me. Maybe if I went on an extreme diet and like didn't eat for a few weeks, I could probably fit into that shirt. But yeah, as I am right now as a big fat American boy, not happening. Let's see. Glitchfoot says, what the fuck? And that whole situation was what the fuck, so that's fair. Lagaloid says, happy to hear you came out on the other side alright. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. KingFan619 says, oh, by the way, did you hear that the singer D4VD David killed a 15-year-old? Yes. Actually, I did. That was, he put that... he put that person in a Tesla, I think, in the frunk, if I remember correctly. Let's see. They must have done something really bad to warrant a SWAT in the FBI at their door. Well, there won't be a door there anymore after they bust it down. It was crazy because when they were raiding that house, we heard like them breaking open all the doors in that house too. It was very loud. And yeah, just craziness when they raided that person's house. Still don't know what's going on over there. Every once in a while, the police are at his house. They're like going through it more and stuff like that. So I couldn't tell you. Like I really don't know. God, I hope it's not like something like murder or something like that. I think it has to do with drug dealing and stuff like that. I think my girlfriend's kind of under the same consensus, but we don't know. We just don't. Let's see. Sparkling water like Waterloo is a good alternative. Potentially. If the carbonation causes issues with your kidneys and forming kidney stones, then it probably wouldn't be. But I had to double check what I was reading online. I could be wrong. It might be some chemical that they put into like every soda essentially that causes it. I honestly don't remember. I was just like, I looked it up like way before I went and got the surgery and stuff like that. And I haven't really looked back at all. So just kind of going off of memory. Meeseek says, did you play the new challenge charts in World when you visited Japan last time? And who are your two characters in the game? I did play the new challenge shirts, which it was like Orion 78, Murmur Twins. I played all of them. I PFC'd all of them except for Love This Feeling. My two DDR characters, if I remember correctly, is Uni and Emmy. If I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. It's been a hot minute. And at the rate things are going, I probably won't be playing DDR World again until I'm back in Japan at the end of November, because my life is going to be very chaotic these next few weeks here, with having to go back for like surgery, have to train somebody at work, and just oh gosh, there's so much shit going on. I might have to go to Texas for a general manager meeting at my job. I have to go to Florida to go to IAPA this year. Gosh, I have to go get oral surgery. I have to go get that kidney thing done. So, yeah, these next few weeks are just going to be absolutely chaotic, and I don't want to think about going anywhere in between all that. I'm trying to keep my eye on the prize, which is Japan in the end of November, going to December. So, which also reminds me, I did book a first-class ticket to Japan next year in June. I did not pay for it. I used airline miles. But it is cool to be able to do that once again. I've gotten to fly first class one time in my life, it was an unreal experience, and I hope that when I get to go back this time, I get to be in. Anyways.
I've dealt with American healthcare before. If you don't have insurance, you are pretty much screwed. Being from out of America, I have no idea how health insurance works. Debt collectors suck.
Well, that was new. I don't think I've ever had the audio ever be spoken from a donation. That was really, really interesting. But yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, because that's exactly what was said. So, but yeah, God, I lost my train of thought. Huh. Yeah, I forget. Oh, first class ticket to Japan. Yes, right now I'm flying to Japan first class, and I'm coming back in business class. And this time, I am going to document my experience, and I'm gonna hopefully teach you guys how to be able to do what I do in a YouTube upload. So, yeah. So in the future, if you guys ever want to like go to Japan and not have to pay for the flight and stuff like that, I can teach you how to do that, because I've done it many times. I've gotten a lot better at it probably since I've been having all these medical issues, just because I had more time to sit down at a computer and research how to do it all and stuff like that. And now I'm an expert. It's just, you have to figure out what you want to do a year in advance. That's the only tricky part. So, anyways. Yeah. Is this your third visit this year? No. This is my second time going to Japan this year. Every year I'm going to try to go twice now. And I'm going to probably try to go at this roughly the same time every single time. So, in summer, I'm going to try to go in May, June, or July. And then going into the end of the year, I'm going to always try to go around Thanksgiving. Because during Thanksgiving, you get 2 free extra days off. So, basically when I'm going at the end of November, December, I'm only taking 2 days of vacation, even though I'm going to be gone for an entire week. The only sucky part is I'm going to have to go to work, and then go to the airport, and then leave for Japan. And then when I come back, I'm going to have to fly in, get off the plane, and go straight to work. And then I'm going to have to work a full day at the office, which is going to suck. Or maybe I'll be able to work from home. We'll see. But, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a fucked up trip. But, yeah, I'm going to always bank my pay time off to be able to go to Japan. And hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to get like a lot of my hotel rooms prepaid with mileage also. I've gotten a lot better at banking miles and stuff like that, so there's potential for that, but we'll have to see. I also do want to visit other Asian countries, so maybe in one of these other trips when I go, I might go to like Japan, to the Philippines for a few days, might go to like Taiwan or Thailand for a couple days and then go back to Japan. I don't know. I'm very up in the air. Just kind of some side thoughts kind of going through my head on what are things I can do with a lot of the mileage and stuff that I've been able to procure. So, we'll see. Anyways, it's been an hour. So, I think it's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get over to some DDR and kind of just see how that goes, because I haven't really done any real strenuous exercise or anything like that. So let's go ahead and do it. Also, thank you, Dancing Dragoness, for resubscribing. I don't know what happened to my alerts. All my alerts got messed up for like the following and stuff like that. It's really strange. So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump on over and get to playing. Oh my goodness. Also, I apologize to everyone on TikTok. It was very hard for me to be able to sit there and talk about everything and be able to see the main Twitch chat without minimizing the TikTok chat. Let me all see you guys now. Paul and Peo said God bless. Knows that I went through a tough time recently. Appreciate that. Joshua says, what do you think about 2DX Sparkle Rush? I don't think that's what that's called. The new Beat Mania. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't played it. I haven't really seen it. I probably won't see it until I go to Japan. So I'll make my decision when I get there. Sparkle Shower. That's what it's called. By the way, Florida has round 1. Congratulations. I have like 3 round runs by me, and I've gone to round 1 a single time this year. Why would I go round 1 when I have round 1 at home? It's just kind of weird. So, also, before I got the bill for all these medical problems and stuff like that, I acquired another arcade machine. You can't really see it. It's like literally, I really don't think you can see it at all. Actually, oh, you can kind of see the white of it. You see that little white back there? I'm trying to get on camera here. It's like a little white. That is a Percussion Master machine. And the only reason why I bought it was because it's $300. So I was like, I'll figure out a way to cover that cost. It's only $300. I think I'm Gucci. But I'm in the process of figuring out what's wrong with the computer on that. And hopefully I'll be able to get that working soon. It doesn't need a lot of work, but it definitely needs some love. Alright. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started playing. Oh, whoa. Do you have EMU's card reader on Real Cab? Yes. Do you have any Arbamani game cabs? Having a DDR cab is cool alone. Oh my gosh. This person doesn't know my legacy in the Bamani community and all the shit I own. I'm gonna blast through this as fast as I can. So I have a Pump It Up, I have a DDR Solo, I have a DDR Supernova cabinet, I have this DDR-X machine, I have a Wangan Midnight, I have a Rockin' 3 arcade machine, I have a Police Trainer machine, I have a Percussion Masters machine, I have a Sound Voltex machine, I have a My, I have a Crossbeats, I have a Poppin' Music, I have an Easy 2 DJ machine, I have a U-Beat machine, I have a Tune the machine, I have a Beatmania 2DX machine, I have a DJ Max Technica machine, and if you go upstairs, I also have a sit-down candy cabinet running the Bishibashi, and I also have a ReZero Pachi Slow and a Modica Magica Pachinko machine. So, yeah. Now, quite the collection. Yeah, and the Strummania machine was a machine that I just recently finished up work on, so I'm very excited to be able to play that game again. And I will be live streaming it, I promise. I do need to get backdoor on it, and I also had to get the amusement reader hooked up, but besides that, that's it. It's good to go. I've already played it a few times. It's lots of fun, but I also want to try to get it into my basement instead of the garage. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Did you have an arcade? No. I have never had an arcade. I've just worked in the arcade industry for over 15 years, and I still am working in the arcade industry. I work in a corporate office for one, so I kind of am all over the place with arcade stuff all the time. It's crazy. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started here. It's going to be crazy. Coming back to play this. This feels so weird coming back. I feel like I'm in a dream. Alright. Somebody want me to play Clarity? That's probably a good song to start off with as a warm-up because it's very easy. Wow, the last song I played was that? What the fuck? Alrighty then. That's in here, right? timing's gonna be so bad.
First stage.
Oh my god. It feels so weird to play again.
Come on, check that crowd. They love it. You're going combo wombo. Keep up the perfect combo.
I think I tied my score. I did. Five. Honestly, just coming back, that's not a bad run. Ugh. Alright. I don't know much about DDR, but does this have Love is Orange? It does have Love is Orange. Look at that. I got a follower. Thank you for following. At least I think that was a follow. It was very quiet. It was. Thank you for the follow. Wow, my expert score is worse than my challenge score. That's fucked up. Ugh. I need to like crack my ankle, but I can't get it.
Second stage.
expert challenge already. Not a new score. Government request for why not? Why not? I've been working so hard, I don't ever want to lose this feeling. Why not? You should. Pretty good. I had that on feedback, by the way. It was on a completely random day. I was just like, maybe I can MFC, why not? And then, like, in a couple tries, I got it. So, good song, though. Brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. Oh, all right.
That's it. See you next time.
Definitely feels good to get my body moving again. We'll see how long I can kind of last here. I don't want to go too crazy today. I definitely want to get some time in, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started to stream today at all. So, yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. And obviously, my scores haven't really suffered, which is fantastic. That was my biggest concern. Is like, am I going to come back and I'm going to be ass all of a sudden? Nope. I'm all good. Ugh. Alrighty. Yeah, right now I'm not planning to go really to a 15 or higher. I'll wait until next week and I'll start playing my normal stuff. Maybe we'll try to get 2 new PFCs tonight on easy double charts just to get 3,400 PFCs. We'll see. Got my request for Wings of an Angel. Wings of an Angel. This song has syncing issues because I was trying to MSC it for a long time at Game & Buster's and I couldn't get it. His syncing issues. I definitely need to change my offset a little bit more. But not too bad, considering how off sync the song is. Very obvious that my offset was wrong when I got the 16th though. What's the hardest chart you've cleared before? I've cleared all the charts in the game. It's more about asking me what's the hardest PSC I've gotten. Trying to love you? It's a weird request. Like, I feel like it's a snooze fest.
Show me. You're gonna break the meter. Can't wait to see it. Make some
No!
You're gonna break the meter. Can't wait to see it. Come on, everybody. Make some noise.
That could have been an NFC. I was just being dumb. God damn. Hello?
Ready, set,
Fuck. Damn it. Two perfects and everything. Oh no, did my sound disappear?
That's it. See you next time.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe? How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Yes, no? Yay, nay? How come we lost sound? It's so random. Hold on. Still nothing? Hold on, I'm changing the audio. How about now? My microphone is unmuted, but has no signal. What? That's weird. How about now? Yay, nay? Let's restart the stream, I guess.